2025 was kind of a weird year for movies. Not a disaster by any means, but definitely not an all-timer either. Still, even in the mid-year, there were films that hit hard, took risks, and reminded me why I love this medium in the first place. So today I'm counting down my top 10 best films of 2025. Not based on box office, not on consensus, but just movies that kind of stuck with me and will continue to stick with me in the future. I'm Shua, and this is Pop Culture, the show where faith and fandom coincide. If you're into movies, TV shows, books, music, politics, theology, or anything like that, this is the channel for you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off with an obvious comfort pick, this movie is really funny, like laugh out loud funny, and the animation is genuinely gorgeous. The world still feels alive and rich and creative and intentional. You can tell that the filmmakers really wanted to be here. Is it a little redundant of the first one? Sure, but it improves on the original in almost every way. Pacing, emotion, visual confidence. I cried more than once, which I was not expecting, to be honest. And I'm genuinely glad that this movie exists. Now Disney, please don't make us wait another 9 years for Zootopia 3. I was in high school about to graduate when the first one came out, and now I have a wife and 2 kids. I don't want Zootopia 3 dropping when I'm pushing 40. You made $1.5 billion, you know you want to make another one, so go ahead and make it, please. This is peak Bong Joon-ho weirdness in the best way possible. Robert Pattinson playing multiple versions of himself is already a win, but what really sells it is the tone, that dark, awkward humor that constantly keeps you off balance. It's about class, science, playing God, identity, man versus nature, man versus self, and somehow it's still fun to watch. The editing is sharp, the performances are great, and it absolutely holds up on a second viewing. This movie explores everything and somehow doesn't collapse under its own weight.
Strange and powerful rays had changed each one of them.
Okay, this one kind of surprised me because Marvel has not been doing very well recently. The mid-century modern, the vintage sci-fi aesthetic, chef's kiss. Big Incredibles vibes in the best way possible. And as you know, The Incredibles is my favorite movie of all time. The score is memorable, that space sequence is genuinely intense, and the family dynamic actually works, especially if you're a parent. Reed's anxiety hit harder than I expected. It's unorthodox, it's comic booky, it's hopeful, and it's fun. And honestly, it made me optimistic about where the larger MCU might be going. I'm actually looking forward to Doomsday now, and part of it is because the Fantastic Four is going to be there. This one means a lot to me. It's a great whodunit, clever, funny, emotionally grounded, but what really set it apart is how it treats Christianity and Catholicism. So often, films either mock our faith or flatten it, and this one didn't. It felt honest, respectful, human. Father Judd is a cinematic icon, full stop. A faithful priest portrayed with dignity, intelligence, flaws, and warmth. And if TikTok comments are to be believed, this movie genuinely made people reconsider God and the church, and that alone makes it special. I'll always remember this one. This movie did something rare. It made me want to be a better person. A comic-accurate Superman who inspires instead of broods, who believes in goodness, and who reminds us that hope isn't naive, it's necessary. The score is excellent, the action rips, and the rewatchability is insanely high. I've already seen it like 5 or 6 times. Launching a new cinematic universe is hard, and this movie made it look pretty easy. I am a fan of Man of Steel and what was done there by Zack Snyder, but I'm excited to go into a new comic-accurate, more kooky direction, if you will. So shout out to James Gunn for this one, and I look forward to the rest of the DCU. This movie rules. The music is front and center, and Miles Canton is unreal. especially for a first-time acting role. Watching award season recognize his talent has been incredibly satisfying. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan and Michael B. Jordan for great leading roles as well. This movie blends horror, comedy, and historical drama in a way that shouldn't work, but does. The themes of race, spirituality, and history are handled with confidence. Hollywood gives us an original idea filled with strong performances and great energy. This one stuck with me. Bravo, Ryan Coogler. Okay, I'm so glad I saw this in a theater. The cinematography and atmosphere are gorgeous. Jacob Elordi's physicality as the creature is haunting, and Oscar Isaac gives a genuinely unsettling performance. The themes are classic but timeless, playing God, responsibility, and who the real monster is. The sets, the mood, the restraint, this is Del Toro at his most controlled and most confident. I'm so glad that Netflix actually took the time to put this in the theaters because this demands to be seen on the big screen. I'm sure it's still a good watch at home, but man, those visuals, they're just amazing. And Christoph Waltz, by the way, underrated performance as well. Maya Goth also crushed it. She played 2 different roles, so I gotta give her a shout out there. This was really the year of like actors playing 2 or 3 characters in the same film, but she was great as well. So bravo all around. I love big movies. I love overwhelming movies. This is that. The scope, the scale, the visuals, it's absolutely mind-boggling. Cameron continues to build one of the richest sci-fi worlds ever put to screen, and this chapter deepens everything that came before. The cast is stacked because the story demands it. It feels epic in the old school sense. If you love sprawling fantasy and sci-fi worlds, this is cinema firing on all cylinders. And of course I have to give a big shout out to Una Chaplin for depicting Varang from the Fire Clan. She will go down, it seems, as one of the greatest movie villains of all time. People are obsessed with her, and I think that that's part of the reason why this movie might end up doing better than Way of Water, but we'll just have to wait and see. This movie is unhinged in the best way possible. You're constantly asking yourself throughout, is Jesse Plemons completely insane? Or only a little bit insane? Emma Stone delivers a performance within a performance. And the score, that score. Genuinely the best of the year in my opinion. It keeps you on the edge the entire time. The surrealism, the dark humor, that ending, it all just works. This is a future 4K Steelbook purchase for me, no question. And I gotta give a shout out to Aidan Delbis, newcomer, for his performance as Plemons' accomplice. I'm so glad that this movie is getting a little bit of attention during award season, and I look forward to seeing how it does at the Oscars. Okay, real quick before I reveal my number 1 pick of the year, I just want to give a couple shout outs to some other movies that I really liked, but just didn't end up on my top 10. This is going to be kind of an unstructured section, so there might be a lot of ums and pauses, so just ignore that. But I want to give a shout out to Caught Stealing, starring Austin Butler. I thought that that was a really good movie this year. It was on my top 10 for quite a while. Weapons by Zach Krieger, that was a great movie. Horror comedy, kept you on your toes. I thought that that was a really fun movie. I thought the film Together, starring Dave Franco, was really good with his wife. I keep thinking about that movie. I thought that was awesome. I just saw Marty Supreme last night. I didn't have enough time to put it into the script, but that might actually dethrone something in my top 10, but that was a solid movie as well by Josh Safdie and of course starring Timothée Chalamet. Let's see here. What other movies really kind of stuck out to me this year? Like I said, it was sort of a up and down sort of year, so a lot of flops, but I thought that there was a few things that were on there. I like Death of a Unicorn a lot. That was a funny movie. It didn't hold up as well on a second rewatch, which is why I took it off of my top 10 after a while. But yeah, those are just some movies that I wanted to mention real quick before we got into number 1. This is my film of the year. Everything fires. The cinematography, the score, the performances, the humor, especially the dark humor, and the sheer energy of it. Feels like a ride, but not like in a roller coaster way, like with like a big blockbuster like Marvel, but more like you're locked onto a track, sort of like It's a Small World after all. It's deliberate, relentless, immersive, and it's epic without being bloated. It's thematically rich, emotionally confident, and deeply human. This is the kind of movie people rediscover years from now and say, oh, yeah, this was special. I feel like this could end up in the Criterion Collection. It's literally an instant classic to me. So I have to give a big round of applause to Paul Thomas Anderson for this amazing film. And shout out to Tiana Taylor and Chase Infinity. They're sort of new actors out here in Hollywood, so I commend them for their amazing performances as well. And of course, Leonardo DiCaprio holding it down as he always, and Benicio del Toro bringing some much needed laughs to the film. So yeah, bravo, great movie. Love this film. We'll be buying on 4K Steelbook. And that's my top 10 best films of 2025. I know some of these picks are going to be kind of controversial. There's stuff that I left off that you're going to be upset about, stuff that I included that you think shouldn't be there, but that's kind of the point of these things. If your list looks totally different, I actually want to hear it, so please leave it in the comments so I can see it. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. It generally helps out the channel. I'm Shua, this is Pop Culture, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace be with you all.